it looks like Pam Bondi might be in some hot water right now. She has kind of had a spotlight on her since the first 100 days of Trump's term, and there's been a lot of promises unfulfilled. So we're going to get into her particular problem with the Epstein list, Pam Bondi's Epstein list problem. Let's bring Craig Jardula back in with us, and we're going to dive into this one. Here we go. There he is. Craig, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, sure. No. Thanks. Pleasure's all mine. I like our little team up thing. We should do another team up soon with the pasta to go. What's it called? Homeless to go. We should do that one of these times soon. Those are some fun shows. Craig, have you been following this? Pam Bondi's got a problem with this Epstein list. She keeps making these announcements, and they don't seem to be following through. We're going to tell you guys, like, this idea that the FBI has all these files, they're going through all these tapes. Let's hear the latest thing she said regarding the Epstein files. And she is getting some pushback. Just be warned, she is getting pushback. Here she is, speaking about the update on the Epstein list.
No, the FBI, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call him later and find out.
So as far as I'm concerned, we're kind of in damage control mode here. There is an update though on I guess she appeared with Kash Patel, made it this team up thing. FBI, we all teamed up together, and we brought you this breaking. FBI Director Kash Patel and AG Pam Bondi announced the arrest of 200 plus child predators this week. So haven't had a chance to look in to see the accuracy of the 200 plus, but I can assure you none of these arrests are anybody in a high position of power.
Yeah, look who's tweeting it out, by the way.
Yeah.
MAGA media cheerleader Benny Johnson.
There you go. So we have to keep throwing us breadcrumbs, as Craig Pasta says, throwing us breadcrumbs and make us think something is happening. I think Glenn Greenwald kind of nails it here. I mean, he kind of says it. Yeah, sure. Okay. Pam Bondi says the FBI has a lot of sex videos Epstein with children or child porn. I don't think people care much about those. I mean, he's alluding to, like, of course we care about that, but as far as why are you in the position you're in, it's to do a lot more than go through child porn videos. We should, however, find out and quickly if Epstein worked for or any specific intelligent agencies. As you and I both know, Craig, that's not happening. So let's before you chime in here, I'm gonna show you something that we were looking at closely in relationship to this, to Pam Bondi and her inability to give us anything of substance other than the FBI is looking at child porn and people without power are getting arrested right now. There was an announcement from James O'Keefe, and we're going to have his ex-partner, his ex-colleague, I should say, Justin Leslie. He's going to come on with us in the next week or two and discuss his vantage point about James O'Keefe. But we know that, James O'Keefe is another one of those guys that will give us something when the time is right. Well, James O'Keefe has been, for the last week, telling us that there's this big reveal coming, and it was supposed to be yesterday. This big reveal that's going to call out Trump's cabinet, particularly Pam Bondi. And then what happened is Alex Jones ran with it and said, this is going to be huge. And his sources are telling him directly that James O'Keefe is going to expose that Pam Bondi is not who she seems, who we already know, but it's going to be official according to Alex Jones and James O'Keefe. Unfortunately, Wednesday came and went. We did get a video from O'Keefe. We'll show some of that in a second. But just to be clear, Alex Jones, who talked about this the day before, his entire post about it is now gone. According to Clandestine, nah, man, I'm not being quiet on this one. I just had to sit and watch Alex Jones and the rest of the clickbait brigade peddle complete speculative nonsense all day long, claiming O'Keefe had proof Bondi was covering up Epstein. And then lo and behold, after O'Keefe released what he was going to release, we'll show you that in a second, Alex Jones deletes this post where he's telling us that Pam Bondi will be incriminated as somebody who is covering for the Epstein list, particularly for, as Glenn Greenwald mentioned, Epstein's attached to intelligence agencies, the thing we can't say, but it starts with the letter I. So what did O'Keefe put out there? It was this little thing. I'll just play a little clip of it. It kind of goes on. It kind of drones on and on. But this guy, John Bryan, close with the PR team of the royal family, he's basically telling us, oh, it turns out Prince Andrew had sex with underage girls. That was the big release, was somebody close to him saying he knows that. Let's hear a clip of it.
It must be obvious they down on Camp Stupid. Yeah.
But this is like this hidden camera shit. It's like, oh, we got you. We got somebody gossiping about something. We can do that here, Craig. You and I can talk about what we know, and then we can release the thing that we know and tell everyone it's a big reveal. It's insane. But yeah, just to get an idea, this is the big reveal. This is what James O'Keefe put his entire career on. Said, this is the biggest moment of my career. Is this guy, John Bryan. Check out just a piece of this.
He was in the Navy. He was 250 days at sea. He never thought of me. I was really pissed because he lied to me. Epstein. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was f***ing underage girls. That's not cool.
That's the big release. That's the big news. That it's not cool that Prince Andrew lied to John Bryan and they was really having sex with underage girls. So again, we ask the question we ask every single time, Pasta. We ask who's getting arrested, and apparently just 200 people that don't seem to have any position of power at all, who happen to be having child porn that the FBI was going through. That's it. Is anybody in power getting arrested? No, that's not happening, and that's how we know this entire thing is theater. But I do see a lot of MAGAs pushing back on this. And Bondi, in that clip we played at the top of the segment, Bondi looks to me like she's a little nervous that she has to keep doing this. She seems a little not in a good. That's my take. She's a little unsettled about it, because how much more of this kicking the can down the road and lying and not getting to the bottom of it is she going to put us through until enough of the MAGAs stand up and say this is BS.
Well, I think what happens is that they'll keep pushing her. At the time, they'll switch it on over and they'll start the whole scam all over again, where the next person coming in that replaces Pam Bondi a couple of years down the road will start that. Yeah, I'm working with the FBI, and they can start the whole thing over and over again, where they can fence it and appear to be trying to release the things that, you got to protect the children, can't get the victims' names released. So I think they'll start the charade over and over again. People have to understand, it's like the WWE, where Donald Trump is in their Hall of Fame. They're never going to release any of the people of power who committed these crimes. They'll just give us the runaround all the time. Donald Trump is running these circles his whole life. He's not going to expose them. He's working for them. And you just got to suck it. There's no list of going on. There's just actual proof of people who are doing sort of things. But that information has probably been stripped from the FBI, been removed. And you're never going to get anything, guys. You're never going to get a goddamn thing. This is all just to make you believe Donald Trump is an outsider and he's fighting for the people and the benefit of the people and trying to save the children. He's not. This is just as weak as RFK's announcement that they'd stop HHS, right, from their trafficking scandal, but never mentioned a name or released anything. It's just a big circle jerk. And unfortunately, once again, just like the Ukraine-Russia situation, the voter, the person in the United States, is too naive to understand what's exactly going on.
No, I'm glad you brought up RFK Jr. because the fact that that's the giveaway. When he says, look, it's one thing he says, look, we found a problem. Okay, great. What's the problem? Oh, the previous administration, the
Biden administration.
Okay, so tell us the problem specifically. Oh, he did. He told us the problem was the HHS was in cahoots and being part of child sex trafficking and slavery, and that there's 300,000 missing kids. Okay, so that's a massive problem you found out. Then he goes on and says, and this is the giveaway. The real giveaway is we solved it. We took care of it. Not a problem.
What'd you do? Don't worry about it. We got it. Don't worry about it.
But we have to find the kids. But the thing about the illegal thing and the thing with the thing and the people that broke the law. Oh yeah, we took care of that.
We
done.
took care of that. We got you.
We're just looking for the kids now. But all that's done. That's all in the rearview
But
mirror.
people will repeat and say that bullshit that's an actual effective thing, that we wouldn't have got that with Biden. We do get that with this administration. The same way some people repeated the fact that Donald Trump, when he had signed his like 25 or 50 executive orders on day one, when they said we have transparency in our media now and everything like that. No, we don't. It was if you read the executive order itself, it's just a bunch of hogwash. It's just a bunch of hot air. But people use that and repeat that because they're playing team sports. People like Benny Johnson, Nick Sorter, all these. And the reason why I point these people out all the time is not because I'm jealous of them in any way, shape, or form. It's that because they are the enemy. They're not the media. The media, the fourth estate, is put here to hold the power and the government accountable. They're supporting it and they're cheerleading it on. So they're not media. And they're getting help from Elon Musk, which is another controlled management, narrative management network there too as well. So,
yeah. Well, look, some of these people, like, and you're right to call them out, Craig. Absolutely. But some of these people are people who were legitimately fooled and are standing up. Like, I do think this one, because I do know that the clandestine guy, that guy that's calling out Alex Jones for taking down that tweet, he's saying, look, I've had enough of this shit. I've been
but he's also been very supportive too of he's been a Trump fan too as well,
He's been supportive, but he at least has, unlike Ben Johnson, he has the sense to say, wait a minute, this is total BS. You told us that there was going to be an outing of Pam Bondi. You were gonna that was going to be exposed, and then you did a bait and switch on us. And then Alex Jones, you took down what happened to that? You told us that it was coming, and now it's gone, and then you deleted the tweet about it. So I like that at least there's like, hey, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here?
Well, it shouldn't have took that long for him to switch the lights on. I mean, war clandestine.
Okay, all right.
Once again, the war clandestine though was great when it came to biolabs in Ukraine. When Biden was in office, and they seemed to be a little bit more that Twitter site seemed to be a little bit more cutthroat and more aggressive when it was a Democrat in office. I think that war clandestine Twitter at one point played a little bit too much of the team sports. I'm glad now they're coming to the table and saying enough is enough. Marjorie Taylor Greene, right now, but we've been saying this for how long?
Hey, maybe we're just really, really smart, Craig. We're just smarter than they are.
Or maybe we just can't be bought, and we're being honest in media where we hold anybody accountable. I mean, we're the homeless left. The first persons we held accountable were our side in the left, the synthetic left, as they play their games and were, pro-imperialist and, anti-speech. We called them out immediately. You gotta call balls and strikes. A lot of these people, unfortunately, play too much of the team sports. I'm glad to see war clandestine coming around. But like I said, I think war clandestine Twitter hurt themselves by playing a little bit too much team sports.
Too much team sports.
The libertarians that we know, the ones I criticized, the Dave Smiths, the Clint Russells, the Angela McArdle, who was the old chair and stuff like that, for them to play that game, that pro-Trump game at one point, it's just like, come on, you know better. You know better. And unfortunately, too many people got caught into this whole Donald Trump is an outsider, and I'd rather have him as the lesser of two evils. No, you're actually helping capitulate to the status quo by doing so. Donald Trump is the same thing. Donald Trump parallels Bernie Sanders, and his objective is to keep the two-party illusion going. It's the same party. Keep people in the two-party system, right? But it's really one party, one bird, two wings. So, I mean, you can say that it's has more negative consequences by them playing that kind of mentality that they do play rather than just call it out for what it is. I don't know. Yeah.
No, and look, we are the ones that started this about calling out our own. So it's good to at least see a couple people calling out their own now. So whatever. Let's keep doing the thing we know is the right thing to do, which is call this out immediately, not later, now. And with Pam Bondi, like, I don't think this is sustainable for her. I really don't. I think there are going to be enough clandestines. There's going to be enough people going, what are you doing? Let me just do this again here, because I'm going to throw this to when she starts talking. Watch her body language. Listen what she's saying. This is like, it's clear that she's not comfortable here and that she's doing the stalling thing. And I do think there will be a breaking point for her.
No, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims.
So you think of that picture in your mind. There's FBI people reviewing hundreds of hours and hours and hours of child porn right now. Like that. I mean, how long do they need? What are they doing? And how many of those FBI agents are involved with this stuff too? She's stuttering through this. I don't think she in the position she's in right now is not sustainable as far as where I'm seeing it from, Craig. So I'm hopeful that there will be some sort of breaking point for her. But then, like you'll probably say, it doesn't matter. They'll just switch her up with someone else that's better at not stuttering through her sentences.
It will never come to fruition. They'll never expose the people out there who did the crimes they did. They're all part of the same team. Donald Trump has run with those people for quite some time. I forgot what his name is. Was it Mickey Cohen? Who was his? Was it Mickey Cohen or Roy Cohen? Was his mentor, right?
Yeah.
And that's these people who led into the Epsteins and the Mossad and all these factions. He's there with them. He's doing everything at Israel's behest. I mean, you're not going to get any answers out there. They're just going to give you the runaround. So unfortunately, it is what it is.